Hello, welcome to my channel. The main rule for the quilting is that there are no rules. You will learn, you will watch others, and you will find the methods and ways of quilting that works for you. And that's the most important thing, because you need to find what works for you to be able to enjoy the process. What you will see is my process of working with different materials and different designs, and I hope some of those tips and tricks will help you in your own journey. Hi everyone, it's Paula from Pola Quilting. So I hope you saw my one of the previous tutorials about how I made this cover for this just normal file folder, and I did say that I will make another video about what I've got inside, and it is my quilters folder. So I keep in here all the projects I've made, to track, and some other bits and pieces. So I will show you how it's kind of organized. So the first thing I had here was like a cover, and I had my name on it. And then the second page is the project list. So as soon as I start working on something, I'm just popping the name of the project. When I've added, then I will update when I've completed it and where did it go. Did I give it to somebody? Did it go to a charity? Whatever the case is. So each of the projects got its own number. And then I've got other pages there, which actually shows what the project kind of come up and what it looked like. So when I first started that journal and kind of designed the pages for it, I thought this is what I need. So I needed one page for kind of notes, project notes, fabric notes, or whatever, and then I need a second page for the actual some drawings. And I also started putting the printouts of the picture of the quilt as well. But as I progressed, actually I found myself that I very often make quilts first without actually designing anything on the paper. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It's a mix. But because I work a lot with scraps, more often than not, I actually don't need this type of page on this side. And also, I've got those boxes here, which is like description, materials, then notes and calculations. But actually, again, I don't need so much of that space. But I will come back to it in a little bit later. So this is my journal. So I've got some quilts here. This is not all what I've made in my life, because one, I only made this journal last year when the COVID started. I had a little bit of time, so I kind of went through it, and I haven't printed everything I've quilted in the last 10 years. I only put some, just those more memorable stuff. And you can see here that I just printed page straight away with the picture of the quilt, and on the other side I printed that like a breakdown of what it is. Moving on. So because, like I said, I very often actually make a quilt first, and then I'm just putting it in my journal. So I've decided that it's probably easier, let me just go further down the line, to kind of not print many pages ahead of time, because I can then decide whether I actually need that blank page, or do I just need this type of pages on both sides. And if I just made the quilt without anything designed, then I'll just put a picture of it and make some notes about it. So that's in here. So like this is one quilt, and this is another quilt, and short description of what it was and when it went. Here a bigger quilt where I actually did make detailed design. It was made from the clothes for somebody that was commissioned, so needed the work, so I've used it grid paper as well to design it. And then again here, almost to the last, again I used this side because I was making the Minecraft quilts for my kids. Here's some notes as well on how I want to have the grid set up and things like that. But more often than not, I kind of haven't used it the way I kind of thought initially. The second section of here, I have some printed patterns. If I saw something really nice and I really wanted to kind of try it, maybe one day I did print it. But then that would have taken, if you know, if I wanted to print everything I liked, I would need to have like 20 of those folders. So I've stopped doing that. Instead, I'm just saving the links on like a document online, and then I can just click the link and get there directly. This is design of the Southampton Quilters quilt along we're doing at the moment, so we're kind of halfway through of that one. And here I do have a Sizzix system to cut my fabric. You know, I cheat. I do a lot of cutting on that machine, so I've got all of those like a design bits which came with the dies. So I'm keeping it in this place. I don't keep the boxes, you know what I mean. It's just, you know, a lot of stuff to keep if you want to keep everything, but I just put those ones here because they do come with an idea of how you can use the pattern and use the dies, so that's good to have as well. So when I was preparing to this tutorial, I kind of refined those pages, and they are going to be available as a freebies if you like to use something like that on my Quilters Pola Quilting group. So it's just a recent development because that's the only way I could put this document as a PDF for people to download. So that's the group I have created literally just for you guys to have access to it. So I will put it in the description below, link to that. So this is one document you can print, or you can save really, and then you can print the pages you like. So the first page is, you know, just the title, you can put your name on it. Then you will have a project list, and again you can print it from the both sides like I did. Then the second thing I've got here is centimeters to inch conversion, and that's for me because I come from the country where we use centimeters. I moved to the country where we use inches, and sometimes, you know, I'm already there, I can calculate fairly quickly, but sometimes you just want to kind of have a look at it quickly, and that's what I use. So you have it there. If you don't need it, don't print it. The next chart is kind of the division of the most blocks I'm use the sizes, and then if I want to make a baby quilt or lap quilt or single size bed quilt, those are the most of the sizes I'm using. Then I know how many of those blocks I need, what grid I will put it into to achieve that size. And obviously that's, again, it's not mandatory I have to do it that way, but that gives me a quick overview of how I want to go about the quilt, and you know, you adjust it as you go along. So what I also did here, I left some columns blank and I left some rows blank because you can add your own favorite size of the blocks and favorite size of the quilts as well, so you've got the space for that. Then the next page is the project kind of project page. So I've changed the layout, so you basically have got project ID number, so you know, so that corresponded with your project list, project name, then description, materials, calculations, whatever you want to put here, and the notes and design. And now it depends whether you make quilt first and then you want to make a note of it, or you actually going to design the quilt. So I would print those pages like two different ways. So if I design quilt first and I only need to make a note of it, this is how I will print those pages and put them in my notebook. So I will have this page here and the same page here, and I'll just make this quick note and I will put a picture here, and that I'm ready for the next one here. But if I want to make actually design of the quilt, then obviously I will use this side, or I will print this side. I will print that grid on this side, so I will put, you know, description, materials, calculations, whatever notes I want to put here, and then I can design my quilt here, and then I'm ready to start with the next project on the next page. So that gives you flexibility to arrange your journal or notebook the way you want it. And you know, I'm using just normal file folder. I kind of customize it to make it look nice. You can make more than one, obviously that's nice and easy project to use your leftovers of the fabrics, and it will go and look nice in your whatever space you've got. Even if you don't have a dedicated space for sewing, that makes look nice on the shelf as well as a decoration. So those printouts are available for free to download from my page. I will put the link in the description below. Please feel free to go and download if you like to use something like that. It's a PDF file. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video, please give your thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so for more tutorials and more information, more inspiration. Please feel free to leave comments. If you like, you can join that Pola quilting group, or follow me on the Pola photo page, where I'm putting, you know, what I'm working on. I'm also on Instagram, I'm also on Pinterest, and all the links will be in the description box below. Thank you very much for watching. You have a lovely day.